Aquarius, welcome into your general reading for September 2024. My name is Coco. I've been reading tarot for 6 years and I just recently decided to start uploading videos on YouTube, so do please bear with me if anything goes awry. The editing is kind of bad. If I'm not as eloquent as I am trying to be, I'm still adjusting to this whole thing. I'd also like to say that this is a general reading. It may not resonate for everybody. If it does not resonate with you, that is perfectly okay. Just leave it behind. I'd also like to say that all of the decks that I'm using, you can get your hands on them as well because I will link them in the description box below. And you can also book a reading with me, a private reading one-on-one, through my website in the description box as well. So first we're going to go ahead and see what the theme of your September 2024 is going to be, Aquarius. Also, I'd like to say that the August 19th super full moon in Aquarius that recently happened and is ushering us into September has brought up a lot of transformative themes for a lot of the zodiac signs that I've been doing readings for so far. Aquarius, I don't know if that's the case for you, so we will see, but it was in your sign, so I'm assuming that there is some new chapter coming in for many of us, and this full moon was difficult because it's bringing down a lot of the foundations, the rotten foundations, the things in our lives that we no longer need around in order to be our best versions of ourselves, the things in our lives that are holding us back, the things that and people and beliefs and practices and self-destructive behaviors, toxic relationships, anything of that nature. That full moon was bringing revelations into our lives about those things so that we can find closure with them, move on from them into a new space, a new energy, and just a new chapter, okay? So let's go ahead and see what is coming in for you, Aquarius. You've got Commune. This Commune card, if there was ever an Aquarian card in that deck, the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle, I think it would be this card. This is all about communing and coming into union with other people who are also aligned with your values, Aquarius. It's also coming into union with yourself and your own values. This is also the card of collaborating with people. You might be working on a project with other folks. You might be getting together with friends or family and working on something or celebrating something. This is a communal push towards something, a communal push to get something done, a communal celebration. In September, you're very community minded. You could be volunteering your time. You could be just focusing heavily on your relationships, focusing on your community tasks, connecting with people in your community, connecting with your neighbors. So this is a very Aquarian card for you in September. Now, one more card we're going to go out and grab is what's coming towards you in September with the Enchanted Map Oracle. What's coming towards Aquarius? You are not the only zodiac sign who has gotten this card in September. A few zodiac signs are getting this magic prayer card. This is the number 32. So if you're seeing the number 32 recurring in your life, then that's confirmation that this message is for you. Magic prayer is all about connecting to the divine, connecting to source, God, spirit, gods, whoever that is to you in your beliefs or religion. Magic prayer indicates that what's coming towards you in September is a prayer being answered and also your connection with the divine being nourished. You could feel like it's a really nice time to call in, manifest things that you want to see happen in the next few months. Know that spirit and your angels are listening to you in September, absolutely. And that there is a prayer of yours that is going to be answered, whether it's answered in September, in November, or, in January. whatever it may be, there is a prayer that is going to be answered for you, Aquarius. Now let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. The Devil card. That is your general energy, Aquarius, in September 2024. I always say don't be afraid of the Devil card because the Devil card represents our shadow selves and things about ourselves that we don't quite like to look at. Because I see that you're very community-minded in September 2024, I'm almost wondering, it feels like potentially you're looking at toxicities not just with you, it's something about toxicities within your environment, your community, your space, in your broader social circles. Okay, but I'm going to clarify this, so don't worry. Your opportunity is victory, is overcoming these toxicities, figuring out what they are, relinquishing them, coming out as better because you took the time to look at them. I'm also getting somebody's ego here is struggling. Aquarius, you could have an ego that is, how do I put this? Maybe your ego feels like it has to protect you from certain things. And so because of that, you have a lot of walls up, or your ego resorts to toxic behaviors or patterns or even beliefs about yourself, about other people, about the world, because they're defense mechanisms. It's like your ego is there to protect you, but in the long run, a lot of times our ego is actually the thing holding us back and keeping us from moving forward. And so I'm getting here that somebody's ego is on display in September 2024, and you're going to need to relinquish anything unhealthy that your ego urges you to do, that you feel like you have to do to protect yourself and your identity. Okay? Let's go ahead and see what you are being encouraged to embrace in September 2024. You're being encouraged to take a delay, take a step back, almost find a new perspective on something. This card is encouraging you to embrace any delays that come into your life. They're coming into your life for a good reason. And this card represents Pisces and is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune almost has this daydreamy, foggy vibe that's attributed to the planet. And so that means that the Hanged Man is here putting themselves in this awkward kind of position because they know they need to get a new perspective on something, and they know that they need to wait in order to gain clarity. There's some kind of waiting period or some kind of new perspective needed on something before you can move forward. Okay, and Spirit's asking you to embrace that in September. Embrace that waiting period, as frustrating as it might be. Because I know that's a frustrating thing, especially when you want to just barrel on and you feel like you have made so much progress and when you have so much energy behind you. But this is really asking you to slow down. Let's see what you're being encouraged to let go of. self-limiting beliefs. You are being encouraged by Spirit to let go of any self-limiting beliefs. This is actually, the Eight of Swords is it's a less intense version of the Devil card. Really, it is. And it's kind of the middle iteration of a journey. The Two of Swords is the beginning of that journey. And it's somebody who is kind of holding two swords and listening to themselves and trying to make a decision and listening to what their intuition tells them so that they can make that decision. They're almost a bit like the Hanged Man, waiting around and trying to gain clarity on something. Oh, excuse me. This Eight of Swords, though, indicates that the Two of Swords has waited around too long and that now they are stuck. But the thing is, this person, they're stuck from their own making. They can get themselves out. They're perfectly capable of getting themselves out. And you can see all the water has dried up. So their intuition is not there. And that signals that you're not really hearing your intuition. You're not hearing the truth in matters. You're not hearing or seeking truth or grace or connection to the divine that will help guide you. This means that you're listening to the little devil on your shoulder, basically. This Eight of Swords means that, for example, if you're somebody who grew up with, say, a parent who always told you that, I don't know, maybe that you looked better with brown hair, that you looked the best with brown hair, and to dye your hair brown. So say you believed them, obviously, as a kid, you're a kid. So you've spent your whole life dyeing your hair brown and telling yourself that you only look good, you only look pretty, you only look handsome, you only look worthy of attention when your hair is brown. That's a self-limiting behavior, and that's not being nice to yourself. And now it almost feels like you're realizing, wait, that was something that was told to me, and that's not coming from me. That's not truth. That's not truth. I look good with blonde hair. I am worthy of attention and love, even when I have blonde hair, especially when I have blonde hair, because that's my natural state. This is an energy of realizing and not letting things that have always stopped you in the past stop you now. This card is really indicative that you are letting go and shedding bad behaviors, bad habits, bad thought patterns, because the swords are all about the brain, the mind, those thought patterns, okay? And this person is very caught up in their head, very caught up in their head. So you could be letting go of really toxic self-talk, really intense, up in your head energy that causes anxiety, that causes negative self-talk, that causes insecurities, and your ego needs to compensate. It's like your ego needs to compensate because you're constantly talking down to yourself. And maybe if somebody else brings up that you're talking negatively to yourself, or if somebody brings up or triggers you, it's like that ego just jumps out and is like, hold on, I need to protect myself from this person who is reminding me of the parent that always told me that my hair only looked good brown. This is that kind of time, and this is very full moon-esque. I am not shocked at all that this is happening in your life, Aquarius, because this is giving you an opportunity to level up and to move on from these things that keep you down, okay? Now let's go ahead and see the energy that you're moving into in September. Again, there you go, right? I was just talking about this Two of Swords. It's really the same kind of energy. So in September, at the beginning of September, actually, you're going to be assessing these self-limiting beliefs and behaviors that we just spoke about with the Eight of Swords, okay? A great time of self-reflection, a great time to have an honest conversation with yourself. An honest conversation with source, with spirit, with God. Now let's see what you don't see coming in September 2024. Some conflict. You know what? That's okay, because we can handle conflict. And you know what? We all get a little conflicted sometimes, and that's perfectly fine. Especially because, you know, Aquarius, it seems like you're doing a lot of digging, a lot of introspective work. Of course you're going to be conflicted inside about it. It's because your ego is battling your truth. Your ego is battling your vulnerabilities. And it's literally a battle. These people are in battle. But the thing is, they're not actually hitting each other. They're not actually dealing damage to one another. And that's a really important thing to remember here. Okay, your vulnerabilities are not damaging to your ego. And the ego thinks that, though, because the ego is protecting you. Because the ego protected your little inner child from people and bad words and bad thoughts and all those things. So don't be too hard on yourself, okay, Aquarius? Because we're all going through it right now. Let's be real. We are all going through it. I'm going through it. Let's go ahead and get your likely outcome for the end of September 2024. Love this. You got the Star and the Five of Swords. The Star is renewal and healing. And the Star is coming out on the other side of the Devil card, of Temperance, of just that battle, basically, of toxicities and having to transform them and transmute them. The Star card is already on the other side of that. The Star card represents that there has been healing, there is renewal, that you are refilling your cup, okay? There is intuitive downloads there. You are being guided by your angels, and you are being guided by your truth. And you've also got the Five of Swords here, which tells me that you are healing some part of you that has done a lot of damage potentially in the past, that has maybe self-sabotaged you. Whatever is here, there's a lot of self-sabotage tied up to this card and tied up to this Eight of Swords. So you're doing a lot of healing in September 2024, Aquarius, to be a better person, to be better to yourself, to be better for your community. My guides are highlighting this bird in the corner, which I actually quite literally never noticed before. And whenever I'm highlighted a bird, it tells me that you are going to fly, you are going to feel weightless in some way. And the thing about birds is that they see from a broader point of view. It's that objectivity that is so Aquarian. That is such an Aquarian quality. Objectivity, the third person perspective on something. You're going to be able to like zoom out and understand your life, understand your beliefs and behaviors from a third person perspective. And it's going to help you heal and move forward. Okay. Now we're going to grab an Archangel Animal Oracle card to see who is guiding you through September. Lovely, you've got Goat. And Goat is all about wisdom. The message from this card is, your guidance is to be free and independent within the nurture of a loving, caring family or community. If you feel misunderstood, remember that you carry in your aura light and wisdom that are not always recognized immediately by others. Do any menial tasks that come your way graciously, for this is part of life on earth. You are invited to look at the circumstances of your life and challenging situations from a higher perspective, just like what my guides just told me about the bird in the star card. This will bring you much peace and enable your innate qualities of love, loyalty, and caring to develop. When you can do this, your essential wisdom will shine through. You will be acknowledged by those around you. Recognize who you are, and many will be drawn to your energy. There's something here, something else is coming through that my guides are letting me know. There's something here about transcendence. Aquarius, you might be somebody who really is into the idea of transcendence, or like you might be very into ideals of existentialism, because they're telling me like you're very you believe in transcendentalism, you believe in these existential ideas of the fact that, not the fact, but, maybe the fact, that we are energy, and that when we pass, we, don't really leave the earth. They're also giving me the idea of that there are other beings and planets in other galaxies, and that we are connected to them, that perhaps we are incarnations of different souls from different places. I hope that makes sense, Aquarius, what I just said, because it was hard to articulate that message. Okay. So the last card we're going to take for you is the Tree Keeper's Oracle card to see the lesson that's coming through for you in September. Ooh. Okay, they're actually telling me to take this one. And neither of these, so. Okay. You've got 25, Keeper of the Subconscious. This makes a lot of sense for you, Aquarius, I think, this month, because it feels like you're unraveling your subconscious. If you can see this, Aquarius, it almost looks like a brain right here, but it's still underwater, which I think is so fascinating. And there's somebody right here, like riding a little crazy mollusk animal. So let me get your message from this card. The message is: trauma is real. Your experience with intense emotions and reactions right now may very well be triggered by something on life's surface that has deep roots in the tree of your subconscious. Science calculates that about 10% of our lives is run by our conscious thought, while 90% is run by the subconscious. If you find yourself with persistent triggers that make you feel not enough, too much, overwhelmed, afraid, or chronically separated from your own sense of love and belonging, the question is not, what's wrong with me? The right question is, what happened to me? Ooh, I'm going to read that again. The question is not, what's wrong with me? The right question is, what happened to me? Your subconscious has many of the answers to situations that plague and mystify you, so quest down into that sacred space to explore the truth waiting there for you. Aquarius, it seems like September is going to be a little bit intense. You're going to be going through a lot of change, but on the other side, you're going to be feeling a lot better, a lot more clear on where you stand with these self-limiting beliefs, with these toxicities that you're trying to unravel and understand and figure out where they come from. And know that you are being guided, you are being protected amidst all of this, and that your prayers will be answered. So just make sure that when you speak to the world and when you speak to the universe, when you speak to God, to spirit, to source, make sure that you are speaking in a way that you are being specific, and make sure that you are not kind of just throwing words out there. Be intentional. Things will come back to you, so make sure that what you're putting out there is what you want to also come back to you. Okay? Thank you so much, Aquarius, for joining in on this video. If it resonated with you, please consider liking the video or subscribing to my channel. I am relatively new here, so any help is appreciated. Have a wonderful September, and I'll see you next time.